Chattanooga that started selling this, and they said that it was a really difficult road to getting acceptance to this. The woman who started the company had trouble getting insurance. She had trouble finding a building because people didn't want to sell because they thought it was related to marijuana. But one day, a woman walked into her store a little bit timid, a little bit nervous, and asked if any of the products would make her high. And the owner of the shop said, no, why do you ask? She said, well, I am the piano player for a large church here in Chattanooga, and I can't be getting stoned in church, but my hands are hurting, and I heard CBD lotion could help my hands. Well, after word got out, church piano ladies from all over Chattanooga started coming into the shop to buy this, and word has gotten out. And it's not just in Chattanooga. All over the South, farmers in agrarian areas are growing hemp products that's being turned into CBD. There's even a hemp farm on a farm owned by Amy Grant, the Christian singer.
Yes.
So it's really gotten out there in the Christian community in the South.
Yeah, I used to listen to Amy Grant tapes when I was a little kid. Was there anything, Chris, that was surprising to you about your findings? One of the most shocking things?
You know, it's really interesting to see how the market has adapted to speak to people in this market. If you're selling CBD in Colorado, people come in, and if there's like a small percentage of THC, they don't mind it. They actually probably are there for other products that have higher THC, for the actual marijuana. But if you're selling CBD in these communities, you have to make sure that you're stocking products that have zero THC, because people don't want that. You also have to speak about it differently. A lot of the companies that cater to this market actually use Bible verses that speak about using plants for health or for medicine, and try to really reach out to people. The woman I spoke to who runs Grassroots Health, the name of the shop, tried to start a nonprofit to give money away to the community, but some charities wouldn't accept her money because they thought it was coming from a marijuana store and not a CBD store. So there's a lot of education involved in this, and ways you talk about it in Tennessee, in Southeast Tennessee, that you might not talk about it in Boulder, Colorado. She ended up starting her own nonprofit and being able to give money away that way, so it did work out. I also spoke to a pastor who teamed up with a missionary to grow hemp to make CBD here in Tennessee as well. And so it's been fascinating to see the growth in this industry in this area.
You know, I was down in Nashville for promoting my last book, and someone mentioned Amy Grant is actually big into this business. You mentioned her. It's not just that she has a farm. My understanding is that she's a big player in this industry.
Yeah, she owns one of the largest farms, especially in Nashville. They really have tried to corner the market. There's a good chance if you're using CBD from a shop in Nashville, it might have come from Amy Grant's farm. So you might have gone from being a kid listening to Amy Grant's tapes to taking Amy Grant's CBD tinctures or ointments or whatever. You also have to consider that Tennessee is one of the states that does not allow marijuana at all. It's actually one of the few states where you can still go to jail for having marijuana. And so especially here and in parts of rural North Georgia, because Chattanooga is on the border, you got to be really careful, because what you're transporting when you have the actual product looks like marijuana. So if you get pulled over, you have to have all of your information, your paperwork, and you just have to think about a lot of things that you might not have to think about, say, California or other states. But it does speak to how markets adapt to different communities. This country is a really diverse place, and you can't just take one product in one place and think it'll work everywhere else. You do have really vibrant communities all over this country that you know, if you want to be a successful business owner, you have to speak their language.
That's true. And Chris Moody, thank you for joining us. Really, really interesting story.
Great to be here, Sean. Thank you so much.
You bet. All right, coming up.